Welcome guys, shooting from moving vehicles is a big part of PUBG, and due to recent changes that stabilizes your aim while shooting from a car, it has become an even more important part. But the physics when doing this are not logical nor realistic, and they don't really have to be. What is important though is that you simply understand how they work so you won't miss those drive-by shots. If we start by looking at what you do when shooting from a moving vehicle like a car, glider or bike, then you will see how surprisingly easy it is, since all you have to do here is simply aim at the target and shoot. You do not need to take the speed of the glider into account, since the bullet does not get any horizontal velocity added despite being fired from a moving vehicle. And it does not matter from what angle you shoot either, the bullet magically loses all its horizontal velocity and it behaves exactly as if you were standing still from where you fired the bullet. And you can even see the bullet trailing behind the glider if you look closely at the tracer that I marked with a red circle to make it easier to see. What really should happen is this. If you aim directly at the glider and shoot, the bullet should land in front of the enemy, and in this situation you should miss the shot. This is because the game essentially is like shooting in a vacuum. There is no wind, only simulated drag that works by gradually slowing down the bullet velocity over distance. So just to make this absolutely clear, the bullet should be affected by two speed vectors relative to the target. One is the speed of the bullet, and the other is the speed of the vehicle. These added together results in a vector that misses the target. So if everything worked in a logical way, you would have to aim behind the target relative to your movement direction. The bullet would then, since it's already traveling in the direction of the vehicle, hit the target just like this. This would of course be very difficult to do, and you wouldn't see all these awesome shots from gliders or cars like you do today. But it is also creating an unbalance, since shooting at a moving target is extremely difficult, since here you'll actually need to lead your shots, which puts you at a big disadvantage against the vehicle if you are the stationary player. I also did test this from a moving car, so you can see that the physics here are the same. Simply aim and shoot. And again, look how much harder it is to shoot the guy in the car if you are the stationary player. Here you will need to lead your shots. But now it starts getting strange. Because what if two vehicles are moving parallel to each other at identical speed? The relative velocity between them is 0, which means that the situation is equivalent to two stationary players shooting at each other, assuming you're in a vacuum and there is no wind, which is the case in PUBG. This means you should be able to simply aim directly at the other guy and shoot to hit. But this is not how it works in PUBG, since the game considers the shooter as if he isn't moving. So in this situation, you have to shoot the enemy glider just as if he is moving and you're not. This requires you to lead your shots far in front of the enemy to hit him, as you can see here in this recording of this exact situation. Shooting far in front of the enemy vehicle is the way to nail a shot like this. And all these PUBG physics works in the exact same way when using a train as a moving vehicle, but everything gets turned upside down when it comes to shooting from a ferry. Forget everything you know when dealing with a ferry, because here the physics suddenly works as they do in real life. The bullet travels with the ferry, so shooting directly at the target will cause your shots to hit in front of the target. You'll need to aim behind the enemy, which is what I explained earlier would make the most sense in the first place. So as you're moving past the stationary enemy, aim behind him relative to your movement direction in order to hit the shot. For the record, this is insanely difficult, probably because I have almost no experience with it. Check out the tracer in this slow motion footage. It clearly moves with the ferry. But if this is the case, then shooting at a vehicle moving parallel to the ferry at identical velocity should also work by just aiming at the target, since the horizontal velocity of the bullet relative to the target is 0. And luckily, when testing this, yes, this is exactly how it works. It was a bit difficult to match the speed perfectly between the ferry and the car, but this clearly shows that if they move at identical speed, then all you got to do is aim and shoot. So to sum up, shooting at a moving target, you will always have to lead your shots, even when moving yourself, unless you're standing on a ferry. And when shooting at a stationary target from a moving vehicle, you'll need to aim directly at the target, unless you're on a ferry. Then you'll need to shoot behind them. I hope this video was helpful. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time.